Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on the Series 9 debut trailer for Doctor Who, straight out of SDCC, and this was all kinds of awesome. But I do have to admit, a lot of it went largely over my head because I'm the type of person who's actually not very much been following all of the production and spoilery, leaked images from the set, all that kind of information, casting, people being appointed as directors for Series 9, writers, everything like that. I've been staying largely away from it. I haven't even watched the Doctor Who panel with Peter Capaldi, Jenna Coleman at all as yet, as of the time of this recording, and I don't know if I will, simply because I want to go into Series 9 and be wholly surprised by whatever they have in store for us. Now, looking at this trailer, though, that being said, there is a lot of awesome stuff in it, and this video is just going to be talking about some of my, sort of cherry-picked favorite aspects of it. The first and foremost would have to be the Daleks. We do see a modern series Dalek, as well as, if kind of in a blink and you'll miss it, in the background of that particular sequence, looks to be a classic series Dalek, a more silver. And I've heard some discussion about, well, could Skaro be coming back into play? There are certain segments of this particular teaser where it looks like maybe there are aesthetics along those lines. I don't exactly know. But the fact that the Daleks are coming back, I do remember somebody telling me that they had heard there were going to be maybe a 1 or 2 part Dalek episode. I don't exactly know. Again, I don't follow that information, so I'm just pleasantly surprised. My favorite all-time Doctor Who monster, creature, villain, whatever you want to call it, they are going to be coming back in Series 9. You also see sequences of actors I'm not familiar with reacting to things. There's like a ghostly figure at one point in what looks to be a very almost aquamarine colored like hallway or something like that. There are, and there are actually a couple different sequences like that where you have characters with that same kind of colorization, and there are aspects of this teaser that seem to touch upon maybe like an underwater city or base or something along those lines. Kind of harkened back to me where Jar Jar Binks was from in The Phantom Menace. I know I shouldn't even be bringing that up, talking about mood kill. But in any case, that's what it reminded me of, like a city underwater or something like that. It looks like maybe there's something afoul going on with that. We do see this very ominous looking dude with like a top hat and beard, and it looks like there's people behind him, and the first thing that I thought of was maybe the Great Intelligence, as we saw all of those, sort of, he could re-embody himself through them, these like dummy doppelgangers that followed him with the suits and the top hats in Victorian times and everything like that. There's this great shot of Capaldi's Doctor, the 12th Doctor, rocking out with a guitar on stage. I love the one point where he is running toward Clara, and Clara is wearing, for all intents and purposes, the orange spacesuit that we've seen, characters basically wearing going back, I think, to Series 2 already, where some of these various characters have had to adorn spacesuits, and as long as they're coming out of the TARDIS, they always seem to be that orange motif. So I don't exactly know what's going on there. At one point, I believe we actually see her with the helmet on, but you see her wearing the suit with the helmet off, and the Doctor is very pleased to see her. I love that we get clips of, and I have seen some of these preliminary sort of leaked photos from the set, just very sort of at arm's length. I didn't want to get too much into them, but I have seen Capaldi's seemingly new outfit for at least one of the episodes appears to be very much harkening back to the first and second Doctor aesthetic, where it's like the black sort of long coat, he's got the frilly tie thing, the pants are kind of checkerboard or whatever you want to call that, and just really a classic look for the Doctor, and I like calling back on that. There is some interesting shots of Missy. There's one point where she's looking in a mirror, and at first glance, it just kind of seems like she's putting on makeup. She's just kind of full of herself. But if you look at the mirror, the reflection, there's something going on behind her. It's almost as though she's using that mirror as a means to spy on whatever it is. And it's anybody's guess as far as I'm concerned what exactly it is. There's also a reaction shot full on of Missy's face, and it looks like she's kind of dumbstruck by something in the moment. But I love that we have the Master, Missy, coming back. You know, Michelle Gomez's portrayal of that character has been my favorite thus far, just because it's like she's a wild card. I feel like more than any other Master since probably, you know, Delgado, the original, and even Anthony Ainley in his own way, do we have a Master where it's like anything could happen? I don't exactly know. I can't even begin to speculate what she's going to be getting up to. And the idea hints that, you know, talking about early into the production of Series 9, a lot of speculation has been going around. Is she going to be sort of a pseudo-companion? Is she going to be part of, you know, the crew on and off through episodes all throughout Series 9? Remains to be seen. You have at one point the Doctor putting on the sort of Blues Brothers glasses, which I really love, the sunglasses. And, of course, toward the end, Maisie Williams shows up. I think she's involved in 2 episodes from what I've heard, just people mentioning it on Facebook. And she has this reaction, you know, the Doctor sees her and he's like, oh, it's you, kind of that kind of reaction. And she's like, you know, it's about time, old man, or whatever it is that she says. And so I have seen people speculating, because Capaldi, I've talked about this before, but one of the reasons I love Capaldi is because when he goes to these live events like Comic-Con, and there was an event, maybe it was Doctor Who The Experience or something like that, or like a road show some months ago now, there was a video of him, you know, talking to children in character as the Doctor, and he was asked, much as he was at Comic-Con, who, if, you know, Clara ended up sort of spiriting away, he left her in the dust, or she decided to leave, whatever would happen to her, who would he like to see in the TARDIS, traveling with him again? And both at that show and at Comic-Con, this is the one piece of the Comic-Con panel that I've heard reference to, he said he would very much like to see Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, again. And so you have a lot of rife sort of speculation that could Maisie's reaction, you know, hey, it's good to see you again, old man, or whatever it is she says, in that vein, could it be that they're recognizing each other because there's a familial rapport? Now, some people are saying, well, it could be Jenny, maybe she regenerated, but then again, some people are saying it could be Susan. Other people are then also saying, well, you know, she's supposed to be involved in what could be a 2-part story, you know, series of episodes in Series 9, and maybe it's just that, you know, he meets her earlier in her timeline, and then he meets her again, and that's why she recognizes him and he recognizes her, that kind of thing. I think all of these things are potentially very exciting and everything, but of course, being a classic Whovian, you know, classic Doctor Who fan, I should say, I'm all for bringing back the character of Susan. I have been long championing, as many of my fellow Whovians have, to have Carol Ann Ford reprise her role and maybe then regenerate into a younger form of that character, the granddaughter of the Doctor, Susan, maybe meet her son at some point, as well as bring back Ian Chesterton, you know, William Russell. These actors, unfortunately, are getting up there in age, and we're going to miss our opportunity if we don't get around to doing it at some point soon. And I think this would be the perfect opportunity, with Clara being involved with Coal Hill School, and Chesterton, the character of Ian Chesterton, being the sort of, you know, principality of that, or whatever you want to call it, headmaster. I forget exactly what his designation was, but in the 50th, you see his name on the sign, Coal Hill School. And I just feel like these are missed opportunities to make just references to these people, to these classic actors, without which we wouldn't have Doctor Who to begin with. And you can't bring them in, just, I mean, for 5 minutes, just a 2-minute scene, just let us know that you know they're still out there, that you appreciate what they've done. More so than just passing references, or clever, you know, if Maisie Williams' character is, in fact, Susan, you know, let's have a flashback where she references how she regenerated or something. We see Carol Ann Ford one last time. That kind of situation. So yeah, lots to really pay attention to in this particular teaser. But again, if you're like me and you haven't been following any of it, I can't even venture a guess most often what exactly is going on in this trailer. Just certain aspects of it that stood out to me, as I say, that I called attention to in this video. And so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of the Series 9 trailer straight out of Comic-Con for Doctor Who Series 9. If you're as, bombastically excited for it as I am, if you have speculations, of course, no spoilers, please, but I always love having the conversation in the comments with you guys, so anything goes along those lines. And yeah, otherwise that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.